Hello everyone, welcome to the Election Future. I am here today with interesting developments. We are going to take a look at the 2024 electoral map based on the latest poll in all 50 states to see who is the favorite to win the election in November.
Kamala Harris is surging in the latest swing state polls, so let's dive into the most recent polling data. Starting with the solid Democratic states, we have California, Oregon, Washington, Colorado, Illinois, Nebraska's 2nd District, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine's 1st Congressional District, Delaware, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and finally Hawaii. For the Republicans, the solid states include Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, Ohio, Maine's 2nd Congressional District, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska at large, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and Utah. In Wisconsin, Harris is leading Trump by 3 points. In 2020, Biden won this state by less than 1 point, indicating that Harris has a stronger position here. If she maintains her lead, she would likely win Wisconsin in 2024. In Minnesota, Harris is leading Trump by 6.4 points. In 2020, Biden won Minnesota by 7.1 points. Harris appears to be maintaining a similar level of support, suggesting she would win this state if the election were held today. In Iowa, Trump leads by 5 points. He won the state in 2020 by 8 points. Although his lead has decreased somewhat, Trump still appears positioned to win Iowa based on current polling. In Michigan, Harris is leading Trump by close to 2 points. Biden carried Michigan by 2.8 points in 2020. While Harris's lead is slightly smaller, she still appears positioned to win Michigan if she maintains her current support. In Pennsylvania, Harris is leading Trump by around 1 point. In 2020, Biden won this state by 1.2 points. The race remains tight, but Harris's slim lead suggests she could win Pennsylvania if the election were held today. In New Hampshire, Harris is leading by around 7 points. In 2020, Biden won this state by 7.4 points. Harris seems to be maintaining a similar level of support, indicating she would likely win New Hampshire. In Virginia, Harris is leading by nearly 8 points. Biden won this state in 2020 by 10 points. While Harris's lead is slightly smaller, it's still substantial enough to suggest she would win Virginia. In North Carolina, Harris has just taken the lead. In 2020, Trump won this state by 1.3. The race is extremely close, but based on current polling and historical data, Harris appears to have a slight edge in North Carolina. In Georgia, Trump leads by around 0.3 points. In 2020, Biden won Georgia by 0.2 points. Given Trump's slight lead in the state's recent history as a toss-up, Trump could potentially win Georgia if the election were held today. In Florida, Trump leads by 4 points. In 2020, he carried the state by 3.4 points. Trump's lead has slightly increased, suggesting he would likely win Florida if he maintains this level of support. In Texas, Trump leads by 6 points. In 2020, Trump won the state by 5.6 points. Trump's lead has slightly increased, suggesting he would likely win Texas if he maintains this level of support. In New Mexico, Harris leads by 5 to 10 points. Biden won this state in 2020 by nearly 11 points. While the range is broad, Harris seems to have a solid lead, indicating she would likely win New Mexico if the election were held today. In Arizona, Trump and Harris are tied. In 2020, Biden won the state by 0.3 points. Given the tie in current polling and Arizona's recent history as a very close battleground, this race could go either way. However, considering Arizona's trend toward Democrats in recent elections, Harris might have a slight edge if she can maintain her position until Election Day. In Nevada, Harris leads by close to 1 point. Biden won Nevada in 2020 by 2.4 points. While Harris's lead is narrower, she still appears positioned to win Nevada if she maintains her current level of support. Trump is leading by 5 points in Alaska. He won the state in 2020 by 10 points. So while his lead has decreased, Trump still seems likely to win Alaska if he maintains his current level of support. Finally, we can add in these congressional districts. Maine at large goes to Harris, and Nebraska at large goes to former President Trump. Now let's see how the electoral map would change if we base the swing states on betting odds instead of polling data. In Florida, Trump leads with 84% to Harris's 16%, suggesting that Trump is strongly positioned to win Florida. In Georgia, Trump leads with 58% to Harris's 42%, indicating that Trump is likely to win Georgia. In North Carolina, Trump leads with 56% to Harris's 44%, suggesting that Trump is favored to win North Carolina. In Virginia, Harris leads with 91% to Trump's 9%, indicating that Harris is very likely to win Virginia. In Pennsylvania, Harris leads narrowly with 51% to Trump's 49%, suggesting that Harris has a slight edge to win Pennsylvania. In New Hampshire, Harris leads with 89% to Trump's 11%, indicating that Harris is strongly positioned to win New Hampshire. In Michigan, Harris leads with 65% to Trump's 35%, suggesting that Harris is likely to win Michigan. In Wisconsin, Harris leads with 57% to Trump's 43%, indicating that Harris is favored to win Wisconsin. In Minnesota, Harris leads with 94% to Trump's 6%, suggesting that Harris is very likely to win Minnesota. In Iowa, Trump leads with 92% to Harris's 8%, indicating that Trump is strongly positioned to win Iowa. In Texas, Trump leads with 88% to Harris's 12%, suggesting that Trump is very likely to win Texas. In New Mexico, Harris leads with 92% to Trump's 8%, indicating that Harris is strongly positioned to win New Mexico. In Arizona, Trump leads with 62% to Harris's 38%, suggesting that Trump is likely to win Arizona. In Alaska, Trump leads with 90% to Harris's 10%, indicating that Trump is very likely to win Alaska. In Nevada, Harris leads narrowly with 51% to Trump's 49%, suggesting that Harris has a slight edge to win Nevada. This electoral map favors former President Trump much more than the polls, and it tells an interesting story about the presidential race. Even the smallest shift in this electoral map could change the outcome of the entire race. For example, if Kamala Harris were to win Pennsylvania, where betting odds currently favor Trump, it would drastically lower his chances of winning the presidency. The same goes for Michigan, where Harris is currently favored to win according to betting odds. If Donald Trump were to win this state, Harris's chances of winning the election would fall significantly. There are countless examples similar to this, showing just how close this race really is. At this point in time, the race is still a toss-up. We've got more polls dropping today, and it's getting interesting. Donald Trump is right there, neck and neck with Kamala Harris. The New York Times just released a post-debate poll, and while some people were predicting that Harris would shoot up in the polls after the debate, that hasn't really happened. Aside from some lower-quality pollsters like Ipsos or Morning Consult, we haven't seen a rapid shift to the left.
Even if, in the New York Times poll, which, let's be honest, leaned into the left 2020, especially in swing states, it's showing Donald Trump and Kamala Harris died. They are neck and neck, but nationally and in the popular vote, and if that's true, it is going to be very difficult for Democrats to win. They are basically DOO if they can't secure a lead in the popular vote of the latest 2, maybe 2.5 percentage points just to be in the game for Electoral College. Realistically, they need to win the popular vote by around 3 points to pull off a victory. Even though we had this first debate and the media is hyping Harris up as the debate winner, we are not seeing her takeoff in the national polls. In fact, this is the point where a reasonable bias should be favoring her. We saw it Romney in 2012, Hillary in 2016, and Biden in 2020. After their first debate performance, their poll numbers surged. But for Kamala Harris, enough time has passed and she would be her peak right now. So, what is going to happen that could change the trajectory of this race in her favor? It doesn't seem like anything well. This is basically turning into the eternal battle just as we expected. Trump has his base and Harris has hers. The polls are a bit all over the place, swinging based on the latest developments, but in reality, we know that public opinion doesn't shift on the whim. Sure, some Republicans might not have liked Trump's debate performance, though, for the record, I did, but that doesn't mean they're not going to vote for Trump over Kamala Harris. This election has become a binary choice and everyone knows it. That is not necessarily great news for Kamala Harris. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The election in November will apparently be very exciting. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video and turn on the notification bell. See you in next video. Thank you.